Hey, sports fans. This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes. Listen, who has the best conference in the NFL? Is it the AFC or is it the NFC? I'm trying to figure this out, man, because, the Chiefs are the real deal in that AFC, and the 49ers are the real deal in the NFC. But who's the better team between those two? I think we found that out last year in the Super Bowl, right? So check. I'm gonna give you four teams in the AFC, and I'm gonna give you four teams in the NFC, and let's see which one of these four teams are the better grouping. Let's look at the NFC first, the four teams that I chose. I chose the 49ers, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and then we can decide whether or not it's the Packers or the Lions as that fourth team. Now let's look at the AFC. We got the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, and the Dolphins. Now, you heard those four NFC teams. You heard those four AFC teams. Which of those four groupings is better? If I had to choose, I would say the AFC is the better of those four groupings because I believe the Chiefs can beat any of those four teams, but I don't think that any of those four teams in the NFC can beat all of the teams that's in the AFC in those group of four. Let's look at another set of four. Let's look at the Texans, the Jaguars, the Steelers, and the Bengals. Those four. Now let's look at another four in the NFC. Let's look at the Bears, the Vikings, the Buccaneers, and the Seahawks. Is that four in the NFC better than that four I just named in the AFC? I really don't think so. I really don't think so. And then when you start to look at the bottom of the barrel of both of those divisions, when you start looking at the Jets, the Chargers, I ain't gonna say my Titans. I don't think we're the bottom of the barrel. But when you look at those two teams, the Jets and the Chargers, who were probably towards the bottom of that conference last year, and then you look at the Commanders and you look at the Panthers, I think the AFC's bottom of the barrel is better than the NFC's bottom of the barrel. So if I had to choose a better conference, I would have to say that it's the AFC. Now, what if we decided to just go by quarterbacks? I mean, we already know Patrick Mahomes is the best in the game right now, right? So let's look at those four top in the AFC that I mentioned earlier and those four top in the NFC that I mentioned. You got Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, you got Tua Tagovailoa, whatever you say his name is. Let's just call him Tua. And then you got Josh Allen with the Bills. Those four quarterbacks. Man, all four of them are really good quarterbacks. Now let's go look at the four that we have for the NFC. You got Purdy, you got Dak Prescott, you got Jared Goff, I think that's his name, for the Lions. You got Jordan Love for the Packers. If you decide to go between the Lions and the Packers, juggling them. And then you got Brock Purdy. Now we all know that, and I love the cat from Philadelphia. I do, I do. But if I had to pick between him and Lamar Jackson, I'm picking my man Lamar by a narrow margin. But I'm taking Lamar. And then if I had to pick between Mahomes and anybody, I'm picking Mahomes, right? What about Josh Allen for them Bills? I mean, we all know he's better than Brock Purdy. I think, in my opinion. And I think he's better than Jared Goff or Jordan Love. And then if we talk about Tua, I think Tua is as good as Jordan Love, probably better than Jordan Love, but as good as Jared Goff. So I think even in that argument, the AFC is still on top. Still on top. Now, I'm going to be biased about running backs because I feel like the best running back in the league is Bijan Robinson. He just didn't get a chance to play a whole season doing what he do. The Falcons just didn't utilize him as much as they probably should have. But then again, he was just a rookie, and you don't want to burn your rookie out because you didn't have the rest of the pieces around him. So I'm glad that they didn't give him the ball 25, 30 times a game or give him 25, 30 touches a game and get him wore out in his rookie season. I don't want to see him get done like my man Earl Campbell in his first 3 seasons at the Houston Oilers. They ran that man so much that we see what his condition is now. And I love Earl Campbell, my favorite player of all times. But I don't want to ever see any NFL player uh, get wore out like that ever again. That's why most teams go to that two running back system so that they don't wear that back out. He can last 8, 9, 10 years in the league, which is hard to do at the running back position because it's such a grueling sport. And you're getting tackled by these big 300-pound linemen, that can really go, that can got speed, and linebackers. So I am going to say that the best running back in the league, in my opinion, is my man Bijan Robinson. But then I got to talk about McCaffrey with the 49ers. That's two running backs right there in the NFC. That, man, listen, they might be the best two in the league. Now, we could have talked about Derrick Henry maybe 2, 3 years ago, but right now he on the tail end of his career. We really can't put him at the top. Not now, you know. Who else could we put up there to battle with them two dudes in the NFC? So I will have to say that maybe the NFC has the best running backs top to bottom. I'm going to look at this list real quick and see if I see any running backs on any of these lists that I think can compete with those two. And I don't see nobody in the AFC that got a running back as good as them. Now, when you get to talking about wide receivers, it's just way too many wide receivers, man, to even make that judgment. Because I'm gonna give both of them a push on that one. Because wide receivers, man, they probably come a dime a dozen because these dudes they legit. So I ain't even gonna go on about no wide receivers. I'm gonna give that a push for the AFC and the NFC because they both got dynamic wide receivers. But let's look at the tight end position now and see what we got at that tight end position. Because we know with the 49ers, we got Kittles, right? But we know who we know who them Chiefs got though. Yeah, it's a bad boy. It's a bad boy with them Chiefs. So I don't know. I don't know. Is there a better tight end in the NFC than that guy at the Chiefs? I think everybody listening to this will say, yeah, man, that guy that at the Chiefs, he got the best quarterback throwing him the ball. So yeah, he's probably the best. So I don't know. That's 3 out of 4 for the AFC. Team, quarterback, tight end. NFC, we give you the running backs. And I'm saying we give you the running backs because I'm a Tennessee Titan fan. And I'm over there in the AFC. I'm over there in the AFC. So I'm thinking that the AFC is the best conference in the National Football League. So with that being said, tighten up.